Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. All right, let's talk about Martin Bakole, my big brother. Notice the use of two bigs there. We'll get to that part in a second. I am the biggest fan of Martin Bakole. I am the founding member of the Martin Bakole fan club. I get into arguments with people I do not know on social media about Martin Bakole. Even when this fight was signed, the Joseph Parker fight, Ben Shalom was making his way to the studio. I was walking with him. Even he said, you speak about Martin Bakole more than anyone. It's true. I've sat down with Martin a few times. Great guy. Honestly, like a gentle giant. Such a nice guy. He gave me his gloves. Those are from the Carlos Takam fight. He gave me those. He signed them. The reason I say all of this is because I almost feel like I've got to start with a positive before I move on to the negative. And it's a small negative, but it's a negative nonetheless. And it has nothing to do with the Joseph Parker fight. Well, nothing to do with the outcome of the Joseph Parker fight. That fight was only going to end one way. Someone was going to get knocked out. And I guess your money's got to be on the guy that's had a 12-week camp as opposed to the guy that's had no camp, took the fight on 2 days' notice, and one of those days was spent traveling and was in the air. Like, I don't even know if that fight should have been sanctioned. I'm very serious. Look, I was happy the fight was made. I mean, who wouldn't want to see Martin Bakole in the ring against Joseph Parker? These are heavyweights, so anything can happen. But when you get the fight on 48 hours notice and you're traveling for 24 hours, I mean, he got to Saudi Arabia at 2 in the morning. He got to the hotel at 2:45. And what annoyed me a little bit is that there were interviews conducted as he got to the hotel. I'm like, this guy has been traveling for nearly 18 hours. Let him just go to his room and chill out. Like, there must have been a back route to the hotel. All of a sudden, he walks in. There's people putting scales there. He's doing interviews. I'm like, can you guys not like read the room here? Like, can he just not go to his hotel room? So that kind of annoyed me a little bit. But look, that fight was only going to play out one way. I wish it was a bit more action-packed. I think I tweeted that this is going to be a 3 or 4 round war. In the end, it wasn't a war. It was a 2-round fight. Was Billy Nelson right to throw in the towel? Yes, I guess now, especially that we know that he is scheduled to take that FA Jagba fight in May. And if he did take a bit more punishment, then he wouldn't have been able to take that fight. So I guess any sign of problems, Billy Nelson was going to throw that towel in. All right, my issue with Martin Bakole is one thing. It's his weight. It's his weight. 310 pounds. No. As soon as Martin Bakole took off that robe, I was like, oh, God. Because he's a big guy anyway, so it's very difficult to tell how in shape or out of shape he is. But as soon as he took off the robe, I was like, okay, this is just no. It's stay in shape. Stay in shape. And the thing that annoys me about his shape is Martin has worked so hard to get himself into the position he's in. He's not really a big name. He's not a ticket seller. I always say the risk reward with fighting Martin, there's a big risk. The reward isn't so high. So he's not going to get those fights. He's now in a position, and credit to Billy Nelson and to Martin himself, because he's speaking now a lot more. Credit to both of them for putting Martin in that position. He's now in a position where everyone knows who he is, and he now can get the fights because of Turkey. You've got to stay in shape. How can you work so hard for this, and then as soon as you have a fight and go to Congo, you put on 20, 30 pounds? And it ain't 20, 30 pounds of muscle, it's 20, 30 pounds of fat. 20, 30 pounds of fat. Like, how Martin has just allowed himself to balloon to this kind of size is beyond me. Like, Martin Bakole should really be a 270-pound fighter. Like, Martin Bakole 4 years ago was 250 pounds. I think people just forget that. When he fought Sergey Kuzman, which to be fair was 2020, but okay, 4.5 years ago, he was 251 pounds. Now, does Martin need to be a bit bigger than that? Maybe, but find the weight, dude. Like, don't let yourself go like this. You are now a professional athlete, and this is the chance. This is the chance you've been screaming for and waiting for. You're now a professional athlete that people are saying is the boogeyman of the sport. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but that's what I've been saying. That's what people have been saying. You're in a position where not only can you make a lot of money, and he did on Saturday, to be fair, but you're in a position where I think you could be a world champion. I think he's got everything, but the weight's a problem. The weight's a problem because it seems as though, for me, When Martin has a fight and the fight is over, that's it until another fight comes. When I think Martin needs to be ticking over. Martin needs to be in camp. Like if Martin, okay, let's just say the ideal weight for him is that 284 pounds that he fought against Jared Anderson, even though I think that's still a bit too big. Stay 284 pounds. The max you should be getting is 290. Like you should be thinking to yourself, like, okay, this is it. I'm 33. I've only got a couple of years left. I need to be at my max. I'm not going to go back home to Congo and eat and eat and eat and eat. It ain't going to happen. I'm going to stay around this weight. I'm going to train 4 days a week. I get it, right? By the way, look, I get it. As a heavyweight, I get it. Once the fight's done, you do want to, I get it all. But you've only got a couple of years left. Like, let's max out what you've got left. And maxing it out is staying within your weight category. 310 pounds. I don't care. I know people say, but he got off the couch. I don't care. I don't care. You got to fight in May. I'm sorry, you got to fight in fucking 2.5 months. Stay in shape. Please stay in shape. Like that means Martin goes into camp to lose weight. He goes into camp to lose weight, not to get his tool sharpened or to become the best Martin Bakole he can become. He's going into camp to lose weight. Because I'm guessing Martin would then get down to the FA Jagba fight. He'll probably get down, if he was 310 on Saturday, he's probably going to get down to 290, to high 280s again. So look, just stay in shape, Martin. Honestly, I'm your biggest fan. And everything I'm saying now, I would say to you, please just stay in shape. Because I think he's got look, I've been screaming for Martin to fight in Africa. So again, I say all this because as a fan of his and a very vocal fan of his, I can also be very truthful as well. And I was almost, I'm not joking, guys. I wish there was a camera on my face when he took that robe off. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And look, I know he's not going to be, there's a difference, by the way, being in fighting shape and being in shape. I knew he wouldn't be in fighting shape. That's almost impossible. But I wanted him to be in shape. And in shape is Martin hitting those scales at 290. So he is 20 pounds off where I think he should have been. And that 20 pounds, like I said, is just eating a fucking, I don't know what his calorie intake per day is, but he's just been overeating and over enjoying life. And again, my thing is, when you're where he is right now and you've really struggled to get to where you've got to now, know how hard it was to get from when no one wanted to fight you. You're having to travel to fight people like Tony Yoka to get those shots, and no one's asking for you. No one's calling you up. All of a sudden, you are a name. All of a sudden, you are getting paid. Why? What's going on, Martin? Please, brother, come on, sort it out. So look, we'll see what happens with him and FA Jagba. Again, it's another big opportunity, and hopefully, what I hope this does. And not necessarily the knockout defeat, but the ridicule about his weight. I hope he's got to take a 30-day, I think it's suspension. But that means you can't spar. But it means you can do everything else. So hopefully now, he's in the gym right now. And he's like, okay, and someone's got a fucking diet plan in front of him. This is what you're going to eat. Lose weight. Lose weight. Peace.